I completed 90 days. What? 90 days to change is done. I finished it. I can't begin to tell you how amazing that feels. My name is Aries, and I have been documenting my journey to get fit-ish, documenting the highs, the lows, and for a majority of this channel, documented myself getting less fit. But for the last 90 days, I have been committed, and I have been working towards how to build up to 75 hard rules. 75 hard is a mental challenge, but it has a giant physical aspect to it as well. And it's always been something I've thought was very amazing to achieve, really intriguing to try and do. And in the middle of January, I was feeling very stuck, very stuck, unmotivated, just worried and just tired with how things had been going for far too long. Feeling like I was just stuck on this hamster wheel and looking for things to get me out. And, you know, beginning of the year, everyone's into these big challenges on, especially on YouTube. So I just kept seeing video after video after video and post after post about I completed or I've started or I'm about to do or whatever 75 hard. And it's always intrigued me for years now. There was formulated by a guy named Andy Frisella. I might be saying the name wrong. You can look him up. He created the challenge, and it's supposed to be about mental toughness. But because there's a large physical component to it, a lot of people end up seeing giant changes. And I knew that I couldn't go from where I was to that, even just one day of it. But there had to be a way to get there. So I started thinking and literally sitting on my couch underneath a blanket, I just started piecing together 30 days to change, 60 days to change, and 90 days to change. And at the time, I didn't have a name for it. If you see my first video of this series, I literally make the name up in the video under quite a bit of brain deadness. I don't know, brain fog. I just I went offline for a bit to try and figure it out. So let's think about Aries' 30-day change. See, I don't want to make it like too much, like I don't want to make it about me. But it's got to be, you know, we want like a community around this. Like I want us to be able to encourage each other and work together and like, you know, be accountability to each other. And so yeah, let's go with, oh my God, this is so hard. How do I do this on the spot? Now you can see that it takes me forever to be creative. It's either with me or it's not. And right now it is so not. Okay, so let's do "30 days to change." We're going with that. Let's go 30 days to change. And it wasn't even 30, 60, and 90 days at that point. Those two names came in along the way when I started to realize that naming the entire process 30 days to change wasn't making sense, and there was a lot of confusion around it. So it's been a process this whole way. And it started off with small, manageable goals for the first 30 days. that were in line with what 75 Hard was asking for, but were manageable bite-sized doses. Then once you could get those habits formed for 30 days, then it was time to increase it. So I wanted to be able to build consistently towards getting to that goal of 75 Hard. I have now completed that whole process. So I know anybody who's watched the videos is probably like, yeah, we get it. I know what you've done. But for anybody who hasn't, the first 30 days was taking a photo every day, drinking 2 liters of water, reading for 10 minutes, eating healthy, and working out for 30 minutes a day. And it could be indoors or outdoors, it didn't matter. Also, my reading could be audiobook or physical book, didn't matter. And your eating is whatever you decided was healthy eating. After those 30 days, most goals stayed the same. So it was still taking a photo every day, it was still eating healthy. Your reading increased to 15 minutes a day, so by 5 minutes. Your water intake increased from 2 liters to 3 liters a day, and the working out increased to a 45-minute workout. Amazing. Then the last 30 days, which was 90 days to change phase, everything increased again. So still taking a photo every day, still eating healthy. The reading increased to 20 minutes a day. The water intake stayed the same, actually, at 3 liters. And then the workouts changed to 2 30-minute workouts. One must be outdoors, and I was doing it as 1 outdoors, 1 indoors. I was also aiming for 3 hours in between the 2 workouts, because at that point I had researched more about 75 Hard, and that was a stipulation for them that I didn't realize beforehand. So I figured might as well start trying to do that now as well, so that I'm in the habit for when 75 Hard kicks in. So for 90 days, I have at minimum worked out for 30 minutes a day. At most, worked out for an hour a day, split up twice. And a lot of the times that workout ended up being extended. There would be 45, one, and then 30 the other. So I have been doing a lot of physical activity for 90 days straight, as well as I'm treating my body properly by eating well, mentally learning and escaping to different realities by reading, and drinking so much water, to the point where now my body is craving it. And instead of trying to force it down and get it in, I'm actually like reaching for it and being like, whoa, I haven't had water in a while. I need a sip. So that's really cool. As for the books I've read, I compiled a list. I ended up reading either fully or partially, because there was a few books I had already started, so I was able to finish them off. Or there were books that I started but didn't get finished. So because I was doing a combination of audiobooks and physical books. For a while I was commuting to work with my husband, so we were able to do audiobooks together. So those books were started and finished together. But then if I wasn't in the car with him, I would do an audiobook on my own. And if I had time to sit and read, I had physical books. So at some points there was like 3 or 4 books all going at the same time. So in the 90 days, I ended up reading in its entirety or partially 9 books. So there was The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Well, I'm just going to say the titles. There was Name of the Wind. This was in audio form with my husband. It's his favorite book, so it was his like 6th time listening or reading it. Then there was The Wise Man Fear, which is the 2nd book of that series, again for my husband, his multiple time through, my first time. Then a spin-off from those books, it's about a character from the books but in a completely different writing style, was The Slow Regard for Silent Things. And then another spin-off from that, after we finished that, is we started The Narrow Road Between Desires. So that's all in that world, and it's all fantasy. I ended up starting and finishing The Fortune Teller. And this is the third book from an author that I've read previously. Really enjoyed that. I was finished listening to I Don't Need Therapy and Other Lies I Tell Myself. This is a podcaster from Australia. She's hilarious, and it was a really good book. I was in tears at one point because I've lost my father, and she has lost her mother, and there was a lot of crossovers in the thought patterns and like the ways that grief have hit her as well as me. So there was just a lot of moments where it was like, whew, that's hitting really close to home. So that was a nice read for me because she still does it in a way that like adds in comedy, and it was a really good book. I also have been partially doing Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. That was more of like if I was listening while I was working out or in the car when I was by myself. It's not my favorite, but I can see why people have gravitated towards it. It's not my, that's all I'm going to say. It's just not my favorite. Then there is a book that I totally forgot I had been reading, and it was called A Good Enough Mother. I just needed to finish it off. So I was like 3/4 of the way through it. So I've been able to finish that book now. It was weird because like there was a lot of things that I kind of had foggy memories about or had completely forgotten about. So piecing the last quarter of the book in with what I was trying to remember from when I had first started it was a bit foggy, but it was a good book. And then last, I have started, but I haven't been able to complete the newest Hunger Game. Well, it's not the newest because now a new one has come out literally as I started this book, but one of the newer Hunger Game series books. It's called The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, I believe. And so I've started that one. She's now released another book, which I've bought, and I will read once I finish this one. But I really enjoyed the Hunger Games series when they first came out years and years and years ago. So this one just felt natural to get, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It seems to be like the backstory on where President Snow came from and how he got into where he is as President Snow in the Hunger Games series. So it's kind of like a prequel, I guess. Yes, I'm a book person, but that's like amazing. There's a lot of books that were read in their entirety or very large portions, which I'm a slow reader and I don't usually give myself time to read. So the fact that I could knock off that many books in 90 days or, is like amazing. So that was really cool. Obviously, physically, I have changed dramatically. I wasn't expecting to be at the end of, the goal at the end of this, but I also didn't know what to expect. And I am very happy with the changes that have happened. So before and after, this is day 1, which was end of January, is when I started this. And now this is day 90, which is, there's definitely some physical changes. Obviously, there's still a long way to go, and that's okay because I'm not done. This isn't the end, and just because I've completed 90 days doesn't mean I take a break now. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to do 15 days of the 75 hard rules, and then I am transitioning to a goal of working out every single day for at least 45 minutes a day for the remainder of the year. So I'm trying to get all the way back around until end of next January. So, and then who knows, it could go way beyond that. And obviously working out every single day doesn't mean working out hard and
stay hard.
like grinding it out and every rep counts. And I'm not like going for a walk for 45 minutes is working out. And that is a rest day or an active recovery day. And that is, you know, or doing yoga. That's part of this. So just because I'm saying I'm gonna work out every day, I understand that rest days are important and are needed and will be factored in. They will just be an active rest day. So yeah, the weight, who cares about what scales say? You know, they're just lying little liars anyways. They're just chilling, telling you how much gravity you're pulling towards the ground. It hasn't changed, really. It really hasn't. I've ebbed and flowed and ebbed and flowed and ebbed and flowed. And I am sitting at like 125 right now. Yesterday, you know, or 3 days ago, I had a salty meal and I was up to 127. So like it's all over the place. And I don't really care because the pictures show that my composition is changing. The way my clothes fit is better. The way I feel, the amount of energy I have, the things that I can do, even just my walking pace has improved. The fact that I can go running and the pace at which I'm running, how much stronger I've been with weightlifting. Like there are so many bigger, better, more important changes than what a scale says. So, you know, if it means I'm losing fat and gaining muscle, cool. I mean, I feel like there's little baby gains going on, but also like still a lot of work to do. So I am super, 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 super happy that I have done this, that I started this crazy goal and that I stuck with it, because there was a roller coaster of emotions. There were times when I just wanted to give up and lay in bed and, you know, like just not. But, or just like, there are times when I just didn't want to do all of it, you know, like I didn't mind going for a workout, but I didn't want it to have to be outside. Or, you know, I didn't mind doing 2 workouts, but I didn't want to have to read. You know, like there's a lot going on with the rules. And so I'm looking forward to getting the 15 days of 75 hard rules done, which are going to be more. I have to increase how much I'm working out. I have to change the style of book, and it has to be a physical book. I have to drink more water, and the way in which healthy eating is outlined is much more strict. But I'm looking forward to those 15 days being done so that I can kind of reduce some of the stressors around what the rules are adding in, and focus more on being physically active, making healthy choices. But if I don't feel like reading, okay, then don't read today. So yeah, it'll be nice to kind of have a little bit more flexibility. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Along the way, as I completed 30 days to change, I rewarded myself with a non-food goal, or a non-food reward. And I had bought myself 2 Stanley mugs, which were helpful towards the cause, because I'm going to be drinking a lot more water. And then it meant, you know, I wasn't just using 1 Stanley. So I now have 3 Stanleys. They're gorgeous. And I guess kind of 4. I have 3 40-ounce Stanleys and 1 30-ounce Stanley. And the 30-ounce has like a leak-proof lid. Love that one. She comes to work with me. So that was my reward that wasn't surrounded around food, because a lot of times in journeys, like you do so much for so long that like it almost feels like, oh, I want to reward myself with a cheat meal. And then that cheat meal goes against you for like, you know, a week or more sometimes. And so then it's like, well, am I really committed to this? And there's nothing wrong with doing it as a reward. I just personally didn't want to get into that habit this time. And so I rewarded myself with the 2 Stanleys after I completed the 30 days to change. After I completed 60 days, I bought myself an Insta360 camera, the 4X. Again, helpful for the videos in the channel and, you know, recording myself, and something I've always wanted. I'd like to do a lot of traveling, so I feel like it's going to be a really cool camera to be able to bring on trips with me. And so that was my reward. So for the 90 days, I should have waited and bought the camera for 90 days, because to me, this is the goal. Like, the 15 days for 75 hard are, you know, an accomplishment, but like completing these 90 days is like, that's the main goal. Like, that's what I'm really celebrating here. And so I should have, you know, the camera's a big purchase. I should have left it for that. And I thought, you know what? Originally, maybe I just won't get something for the 90 days. But I'm kind of in the works right now at getting myself something really big and kind of scary, and a little bit exciting. So stay tuned for a video that's probably going to end up coming, and to find out what my big celebration purchase is. It's not for sure yet, but if I know me, and I know what a good retail therapy will do, it's probably likely. So super excited for that reward. But yeah, so now it's on to 15 days of 75 hard, and then the bigger goal of every day for the remainder of the year. And I'm just super excited to see where this takes me, because if 90 days can make this big of a change, I'm so excited to see what's to come. And I'm so thankful for everybody who's joined me and celebrated with me and tried and succeeded and tried again. Like, just thank you. Shared your journeys. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Your support has been absolutely wonderful through this, and I'm excited to see where things go. So I am going to try and start doing some content that's a little bit more engaging instead of just sitting in my gym and talking. But it's scary, and it does take a lot more work, so bear with me. There's probably going to be a learning curve, and hopefully it ends up working out and it becomes a little bit easier to do and manage and get along with, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So I think that's it. Yay! 90 days done. I'm so excited. So thank you. I love you all. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.